Anytime I get 30 minutes, an hour during my lunch break, after I get done writing articles for the day, I come bank fishing a good bit. Don't always have a bunch of time to hook up my boat and go to the lake, so this kind of scratches the itch for a while. I've caught a lot of big fish in the last couple years employing a few really key tactics, and I think that they will help you increase the size and the quantity of your bass. We're gonna strap on the Flambeau, walk the bank for a little bit, maybe we'll catch some. I'd say probably the most important tip I can give anybody that's looking to bank fish and have a lot of success at it is you have to employ stealth. And to be totally honest, I don't even really like talking to the camera when I'm this close to the water. And I say that because I've seen a lot of times, like when I even pull up to the pond in my truck, you'll see the water start to swirl. You'll start to see bass spook off the bank. They can feel those vibrations. And when you're walking, they know you're there. So you really have to kind of tiptoe almost and just be real stealthy. So I'm gonna stand pretty far back and make my first couple casts, because if you can catch them by surprise, that element of surprise when you bank fishing is very powerful. It's kind of like deer hunting, like turkey hunting. You know, we're all big hunters at Wired to Fish, and you gotta use the same type tactics almost. I mean, you gotta walk quiet. You gotta land your cast softly, and any target that you see in the water. You know, these limbs look good. Everything in the water looks great. Cast past it. It's not always easy to skip something from the bank or do any of those trick casts, but at least cast past it. I don't know if y'all can see that little cloud of, a little plume of muck or whatever, but a bass just spooked off that stick. I'm not blaming Kyle, the expert producer, but when he moved positions just now, and right when he started taking steps, he's probably 40 yards back from the lake, and one spooked right there. Depth changes are very relevant. You know, deep, shallow, those are all very relevant words, but in a shallow pond, you know, 6, 8, 10 inches can make a really big difference. What happens is those bass will use that break line to cruise along this bank looking for easy feeding opportunities. Now, I haven't gotten down there and swam with them or anything, but my belief is they can use that, you know, so you got the break line coming out and then it goes down and levels out. I think they use that face right there as a way to pin and ambush prey. And if you'll pay attention on most you know, small ponds, whether it's a city park, a farm pond or whatever, you'll see bluegill and small panfish. They'll be traveling those same break lines. So it's a match made in heaven. It's tempting to want to chunk this sucker all the way into the middle. You know, the bank fishermen always want to get closer to the middle. The boat fishermen always want to get closer to the bank. But if you make 45-degree angle casts from where you're standing, so something about like that, what that allows you to do is drag that break line. So you're just dragging that break line, dragging the break line. That's a good way to get extra bites. Now it can create some awkward hook sets at times. You kind of look like a baby giraffe, you know, trying to set the hook like that and not get hung up in a tree and all that, but it's a good way to catch some big ones. You have to be able to walk around and move efficiently. If I have to bend down, pick up a 50-pound tackle bag, throw it over my shoulder, pick 6 rods up, throw them over my shoulder, I'm a lot less apt to move, because you get lazy. Well, that does look good over there, but crap, I don't want to pick up all this stuff. You can't be in that mindset. You got to stay light on your feet, stay stealthy, and keep walking around, and don't stop moving, because when people ask us all the time, well, how do I catch more fish from the bank? Well, if you're not catching fish from the bank, most of the time, the answer is you got to move. You're not fishing where fish are. So, I mean, just like a trolling motor on a bass boat, man, you got to keep going, find those fish. And when you run across a scrape of them, they'll usually bite. But move, that's the biggest key, move. If you're not catching them, get out of there, go somewhere else. I've fished a lot of ponds that are, pretty thick. Like if you wanted to walk over there and try to cast, a long rod's really going to inhibit you, and it's going to make it tough to fish efficiently. It's going to be tough to flip, sidearm cast, set the hook without breaking a line guide off your rod. So I'd max out at 7 foot. Anything from 6 to 7 foot, I believe, would be the best choice. Just about to start talking, there was a 4-pounder sitting there on the bank looking at me. Dadgummit. Conspicuous casts every now and again from the bank, because you just got to deal with what you're dealt. But my rule on that is you got to hook them before you can worry about getting them out. So, dude, going? It's a good one. Huh? See, that was a kind of a bad cast, to be honest with you. Come on, girl. That was a bad cast, to be honest with you. I casted way over that log. Punch out craw strikes again. So I just finished talking. It just came out of my mouth that you got to worry about making that cast, getting a bite before you do catching the fish. That was kind of a bad cast by most people's standards, but it was way over a log and really didn't have a good chance of landing her. But I laid the wood to her with that medium heavy, and I mean, look at that fish. Look how fat she is. She's full of eggs. So these fish you want to handle real gentle, because this fish is going to make a lot of pretty babies. So let's go ahead and I'll shut my mouth, get her back. And so yeah, that's the best tips I can give you guys. Quit watching fishing videos. Get out there and go have fun. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, I promise you can.